Morning, everybody. Looks like my chart stopped charting here about 5 seconds ago. See that? It's not moving. Let me restart not Ninja. Let me restart DT Pro and see if that makes a difference. Oh, everybody else has stopped too? Okay, so it's not just me. Alright. Bert, you on that? I'm sure you're fielding like a million phone calls right now. Yours okay, Gary? And Rod? Yeah, Ninja's different data feed. Let me see. Yeah, this is how I want to start off the day. Alright. And it's funny, you know, because I came in, sat down, and there was a penny face up sitting in my chair. Are they back to life? They seem to be back to life. Kinda. Okay. I got something going on here. I don't know what it is. But I'm going to start by shutting off Ninja. I still got something going on. Man, it would suck if I had to reboot right now. And I almost did it this morning. Alright. Oh, I can't trade like this. You see, it's not working. Alright. Hey, Bert. I know you're out there. I'm going to try one thing, and then if that doesn't work... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Marianne. I'm going to try one thing, and if that doesn't work, then I'm going to have to reboot. But here, let me do this. I'm going to freeze the picture. Okay, so it'll look like nothing's moving. So you guys don't have to watch me go through everything else. Here it is. That in task. End it now.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Bert. You getting a lot of phone calls?
No.
No?
Oh, why? Am I going to get phone calls?
Well, DT Pro just stopped working for me and a few other people.
Yeah, your charts aren't moving.
Yeah. Well, no, these aren't now. I just froze the picture because I'm rebooting DT Pro right now.
Oh, okay.
But they weren't moving.
Okay.
They would move 2 minutes at a time.
I wonder if mine is doing the same.
You know, I didn't do the update, but I don't want to do the update right now. trying to say, Frank? I think this isn't a real computer. It's not a laptop. You're gonna give me that? Okay. It's quite a password. Mm-hmm. Okay, looks like the clock's ticking again. That's good. It's a step in the right direction. Alright, all the DOMs look to be good. Alright, I'm ready to roll. Again, looks like. Oh, I can hit go. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to hit record. Alright, good morning everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 6th day of May 2015. Hey, you know what? I forgot to tell everyone, I forgot to tell Dwayne last week, or this past weekend. I cannot make the partners meeting tomorrow night. If anybody wants to do a partners meeting tonight, you gotta let me know. Okay, we'll do a quick one tonight, say 9 to 10, something like that. Or we can, I might be able to do one on Sunday. That down close right there, 17.4 is momentum short trade. So, what is that, the Russell? Okay, stop to break even on that. I'm in at 17.3. I'm going to put a target down at 16.3. Lock in 3 ticks. And there it goes. Bang. There it is, Nathaniel. One shot, one kill. So how many minutes did that actually take me? About 2 minutes, one trade, and $100 a contract. And there was another one right there that I'm not in. Okay. Hey, now it's functional. All right, that down. I missed it. The Russell is really bouncing around here. 15.6 was the spot, but I missed it. Okay. Next time I'm not going to draw the trend line, I'll just tell you. All right, a down close of this bar right here at 15.4 would be a short trade. Right there, 15.4. Yeah. And I'm in at 15.6. Okay. It's a momentum trade, so stop at break even. Actually, it's not a momentum trade. My bad. That stops at break even anyway. Stop at +3, and I'm flat. Where is it? Right here. That one. I ended up getting in when it pulled back up. Right over here. 15.6. It didn't put in a lower swing, so we're not going to look over there anymore. I hadn't even looked at the ES yet, but I am looking at the ES now. Alright, let me to control on the soybeans. This is what we're looking at right there. Okay. Over here on the euro in up close, right there on the euro at 1300. 1300. Where's my euro? There it is. 1300. All right. I'm in at 1301 on the euro. 1301 on the euro. Why do I have a natural gas on up? Okay, 8 ticks risk on that, 1301. 13 is a significant, well, it's not a significant area, it's just a big round number area. The ES has a momentum of short trade right here at 84. 84 on the ES, right there. Okay. I didn't realize that was a momentum trade there on the euro, so I'm throwing my stop at break even. It was a close above the MA1 right there. All right. So my stop's at break even on the euro. I think it wants to get up here to 1308. That's what I think. But we'll see if what I think matters soon. All right. 84.75 on the soybeans. Down to 83.75 would be a short trade over there on the soybeans. Okay. Oh, come on. I should have taken a tick profit or two in there on that euro. There you go. I'll take one tick profit on the euro. I can. That ES that I just told you about at 2084, that thing is tanking. All right, this down close right here on the Russell, it would be at 12.8, would be a short trade. Never mind. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing this morning?
Okay, we're flat the euro now. And yeah, I missed the Russell. There was a down close right here at 13.2 on the Russell. Oops, I didn't actually take it. It was right there at 13.2. I did take this euro trade over here, and I got one tick on it. And man, that ES, if you took that ES, I said 84, and it's all the way down at 77.5 right now. All right, so the indexes are absolutely tanking right here. We didn't get a higher swing out of the euro. I think the euro should go up here. It should, but we'll see. All right, it is Wednesday. Crude inventories, bottom of the hour.
Okay, guys, yesterday on the S&P during the radio show, we highlighted out an area that would hold potentially as support, and at 3 a.m. this morning, we spiked down, we touched that area almost to the tick. In fact, we spiked through it, I think, by a tick. Swing low yesterday afternoon was, hold on, see, the low there was 81.50, and then this morning it was 81.25. So yeah, we spiked the whip by one tick. Now we've just taken that out completely. We're down into the other area, 2079, 75 is what we're trading right now. During the show yesterday, we had two trade opportunities, and we put them on the screen during the show, and they actually became part of the alerts for last night, and that was being long above 93 or short below 79. So we're breaking below that 79 now. We just hit 78.50, 78.75, 78.50, 78 and a quarter. Now the swing high, where we had long above 75, that thing went 3 ticks over the line, went 3 ticks over 93, and then just collapsed. So we've got an 8-tick hard stop on the alerts to the long side off the S&P, and now we're down 27, 77 and a half and a quarter, half and a quarter. Our final weekly trading zone down below us, 2062/63. 2062/63.
All right. 62, 63. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that. We would have to drop another 14 points right here. All right. On crude, we need to close above this trend line. Because the cycle's the wrong color, we need to close above the trend line. And nothing there. The Russell's giving some back right now. Or taking some back.
Swing low last week was 20.70 and a quarter. And so yesterday on the radio show, we discussed the fact that if price started to come down and break below these areas and below this zone at 90.91, not 90.91, but 74.75, that if we look left, buyers probably won't wait until 70 and a quarter to come in. They'll come in a little early, and so we should see some attempt. 70 and a quarter, probably. What's the swing low so far? 76 and a quarter. They're fighting right here. There's a little bounce going on right here. We're off the low. We're at 78 and a quarter, and the low's 76 and a quarter. So we've got a 2-point bounce already. Low 76. Yeah, we got a 2-point bounce. So, but the buyers are not convincingly winning this. So let's just let it drop. And how long is this speech supposed to be going on?
I don't know. I know that Yellen is speaking right now. All right, let's go to today, which is the 6th. 9:15. It doesn't say. It doesn't have an end.
Okay, somebody said Christine Lagarde speaking.
Well,
she's considered the most dangerous woman in the world right now. Yeah, I know, Keith. I was thinking that exact same thing. Okay, Yellen speaking with Lagarde. Yeah, that's a pretty potentially explosive situation. Tomorrow night, Jim.
Yeah. Here.
The link is in your email from Monday morning, but there'll be additionally an invitation that goes out tomorrow.
Check your private chat, please.
All right, scratch that. I guess we're going to do it tonight.
I mean, I can do one tonight since you already made the link. If you want to do the one tomorrow night, I can do a quick one tonight.
There's no reason to have to. I just send everybody an email now, because everybody's going to want to know about the 137 and the up, down, upside down 164 and all that. And because I don't use those, I don't want them to not be able to get their questions answered. So
17 to 21 on the euro.
I'll send out the invitations right now.
Okay. All right. I got in at 22 on the euro, and I just got out at 28. All right. On the Russell, if we hit the BBC and we give a down close, that would be a short trade. Otherwise, okay, now we've hit the BBC. Need a down close, 12.0. Right there. That's a short trade right there on the Russell. Okay. I got slippage. I'm in at 12.8. And I'm flat. Minus 8 ticks. We did get the goal for the day, by the way. Got it in the first trade. All right. Over here on the euro, that up close right there on the euro would have been a momentum long trade. Cycle's starting to go down a little bit on it. Looks like it might be losing a little steam, but there's at 13.26. The entry should have been at 13.29. There it goes. Okay, I'm not in it. I almost got in it, but I did. There's a zone on the Russell at 12.12, 12.13.
Yes.
Okay. There. Thanks. Thanks, James. And the ES is just above a zone. The next zone down on the ES is 62, right?
62, 63.
No, David, I don't, personally. This down close right here on the... I didn't make it in time. This down close right here on the Russell is a short trade. I was trying to put the trade on, but I didn't make it.
You got a free chart? You can bring up an hourly ES real quick.
Yeah, I might
No,
even have an
that's okay.
early ES chart. Yeah. G and G. Here. I can change this natural gas to a ES. Let me just get rid of all the drawing objects. Okay.
Okay,
There it
now
is.
stretch it so that we can see last Thursday. I have to scrunch it up,
Yeah.
the actual bars. There you go. Here you go. Keep it coming. No, you're going to see a candle. You're going to see where we're headed.
Yeah.
Right
over
there.
here.
All right, now, all right, see that, guys? Now, buyers just had a beautiful party running this thing up. Some participated, some missed it. Those who participated know how good it felt, and they want to do it again. Those who missed it are the ones you have to be careful about, because they may have gotten scolded by their boss for not, how is it the market went that high and we had no piece of that. Now, those guys are going to be prompted to come in early, okay, because they don't want to miss the boat again. So right in this area, if we get within 1 point, then that becomes an incredibly low-risk trade. I'm not saying it's impossible for them to spike, below. Could there be so much selling pressure? Could what these people are talking about pack such a punch that it could drive it through there? It could. The high probability, low risk, is in getting long in this area here. Now, most people have to just guess. We don't have to guess. We can go to our 4-tick range chart on the ES. We can see that thing start to turn, and we can see a bullish cross on the 4-tick range. So now, Michael, now that everybody's seen this, we can recreate this on your own desktop. And so now we'll go to 4-tick range. Here we are. We're going to come up on the BBC. We're going to, we should get a bullish cross. And then the BBC thing, because I don't have that on my chart, I can't really tell you. Mike can tell you better how that's going to play out. So what I'm saying is we'll know once the buyers have taken control. You want to be careful in a situation like this, because they'll wrestle for control of the market, okay? But catching a 2-point bounce on the long side should be, in situations such as this, relatively simple. I don't want to say it's easy, because nothing's easy.
Looks like we're doing a cycle reset right here. What that means is that we'll probably get a bigger move down, which means it'll go down below 74, probably on its way down here to this area that Dwayne was just talking about on the hourly chart. That'll reset the cycle, and then we'll start getting some more trades.
Now, can you show coming down on the 4-tick range, the leg retrace activity? Yeah, see, there you go. Mostly leg.
Yeah, it was a huge leg. We didn't have much of a retracement, but we'll grab it from the top, and we'll go down to here. That was the first leg. The retracement was almost not there.
Yeah, I don't even know if that was a 24.
But then see the next leg, how far it went? The same distance, right there. All right, and now it's resetting.
Yeah, and then look what it did. It went leg, retrace. After the retracement, there was the leg, but then we didn't put in a significant lower low. I mean, we bounced across there. It's like skipping a rock across a lake. And then we finally put in what may have been the final, So let's see what happens right here. We've got the bullish cross. Situations like this, you can get a false start. And it also might be that with that much selling pressure overhead, even though buyers are coming in, even though there's a low-risk trade opportunity, you might not want to be on that side of the coin. But if you're short coming down, that you use that same rationale to get yourself out of the trade. Also, what you don't do is sometimes when we walk in and we see this huge sell-off going on, it's like, woohoo, party, let me jump on board. And how many of us have ever jumped on board just as the train turned and went in the other direction? It's because we didn't back out and look at the bigger picture. Okay? The train doesn't change directions, doesn't change course for just at whim. It's either found some significant spot like that where buyers have been just sitting and waiting to pounce, or there's been some big news event, or there's been some big natural disaster, something upset. Now, in this modern age, there can be a point where price sells off or rallies so far that it starts flipping triggers in computers and algorithms and all that kind of stuff. So Got to leave room for that too.
Now, right here on the ES, the 4-tick range has a long trade right here. I think what's happening is a cycle reset, so I think it's likely to go down to this area down here where Dwayne's talking about. But the first long trade right here, after a big move down, just happened on the ES. All right, it was right here on the sub close. I don't think it's going to go up. I think it's going to go down. I'm going to get down to this area that Dwayne was talking about right here. That's what happens with a cycle reset typically. Okay, so the next thing to look for on the way up is if it breaks this level right here.
Yep, right there. I might even give it that other little hump to the left.
Yeah, a little bit higher. Just right
Yeah,
there.
might even give it that. Because remember, with our methodology, we're not attempting to catch tops or bottoms. We simply want to take a bite out of the middle of the move once the move is confirmed. And that's what the bullish or bearish cross does, is it confirms a move. However, after a heavy momentum move down like we just saw, having a little false start, having one false start like this to the upside is very typical, okay? Let it come down, let that bottom get sort of confirmed that was put in, that lower, that red low that you see right there. Yeah, let's see if we can come back down, test that, and now if we start to climb again after that, then you probably got something that you can trade. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yep. Right now in a cycle reset, we would see it go down. You'd put in a lower swing, and then you'd get short trades on the way down here to 70, 70, 71 in that area. Right? Yeah, 70, 71.
The first time down there, expect a bounce. Then if it comes back again, that's when we might spike through it. So let me look at my chart because I can see the low was 74 so far. Okay, now we had our alert last night was to be short below 79. What I put on the screen yesterday during the radio show was short 79 to 76. So we actually got down to 74, so that was a 5-point move. But on the long side, we had an 8-tick stop out. So.
All right. I'm gonna minimize that, slide it over here, and slide this one off, and I'll keep an eye on them for you.
Password, you did use lowercase today, right?
I didn't type it in at all. I don't have to anymore with the new format. On the soybeans, 89.25 is a long trade right there. Oops. I can get in at 89. I just did. Long soybeans at 89. No, the new format, I don't have to type it anymore. It's whatever you set it as, and it just opens up.
Chris B, are you in here? Michael, we can't hear you.
Okay. Sorry, I said I'm already in that. It was the up close right here. That was the long trade on that. Crude oil. Crude oil's starting to pull back a little bit right in there. The
No,
Russell's
not
starting to pull
crispy.
back.
Crispy. Chris,
It's up
did
close
you ever
right
get
here,
your
14.9 on the Russell.
did you ever get your situation straightened out with your computer? Anybody else have any problem viewing the website? I checked it from different computers, tablets. Chris seems to have a problem viewing the website using Chrome. I don't have any problem. Has anybody else experienced any problem?
Not me. And I'm using Chrome also. Here's
Hey,
the...
Chris, you're the only one, so I don't know what's going on with your computer.
Let me just go make sure of that. Yeah, it's fine. And I'm using Chrome too.
Yeah, rebooting will fix a lot of things. My wife woke up yesterday to a completely dead computer. It won't boot. It allows me to get into the BIOS, and I can change the boot order. I can do all kinds of things, but there's a Gateway touch screen, really nice computer, and we woke up to it just dead. I did some Googling, and apparently that can happen with gateways. So anyway. Yeah, Ray, one of the things I read last night said to pop it open, take the battery out for 2 hours, and then put it back in and see what that did. The fact that it's not reading the hard drive on boot, I changed the boot order just to see if I could, and I did, but you know, it needs to boot from the primary hard drive. I've never been inside one of those computers where it's all built into the screen. You know, it's a all-in-one type computer, just a screen and a keyboard. But it used off a friend a couple years ago, but it's always worked beautifully, flawlessly. It takes great videos of the kids. I mean, a good computer, and it had a lot of memories on that hard drive. So, if nothing else, I'll try to lift the drive out of it and salvage that. But I'll take your advice there, Ray. Replace memory, clean, and remove memory, clean, and replace. Well, you talking about RAM? Contacts on the RAM, okay. That could potentially cause it to not boot. It just says insert media or something and then strike any key. Okay. All right, great. Well, thank you. I'll try that.
All right. The ES is about down to that area, guys.
Hey, Tonelli, you here?
The ES is about down there, so
Okay.
we can wait and see what we get here on the other side with the 4-tick range. All right. The cycle is totally reset right now, setting up short trades, so it's going to have to bounce pretty hard to get it set up for a long trade here. We just stopped out of the soybean trade. All right. And while Dwayne was talking there, we stopped out of a Russell trade too. All right. So we're just about down to that area on the ES.
Okay. So how's your day so far, Tonelli? Through the magic of the internet, I visited Finland yesterday. It was a lovely trip.
Alright, down close here on the Russell would be a short trade. 9.4 is the high, 9.0 would be the low. This is where the ES should bounce. So the Russell may just bounce with it. Just so you know. Alright, on crude oil we're testing the BBC. Alright, no trade on the Russell. And the ES gave a little bit of a bounce here. Now it's setting up a short trade from 71.5. But let me see.
When you have a chance, send me a screenshot of those so I can look at them. Okay, so the swing low now, 2070.50,
13.58 on
and
the euro.
and the ES bounced. How high did the ES? I'll look here.
Alright, 13.65 is low this bar over here on the euro. 13.69 would be the high, so an up close, and now it's gone down lower. 63, 62, up to 66 on the euro.
Okay, the swing low on the ES was 71, and the bounce so far has took us up to 72.75. $73.25. Yeah. Is that right? Yeah, 73.25. So from 71, from the low of 71, we bounced to 73.25. So that's that little bounce that we came in. Let's see. So they came in 3 ticks early. I'm calculating it right. Low was 70.25. And they came in at 71. Okay. Now the next time down. So we've had a nice bounce here, a nice 2-point bounce. If they come back down and attack this again and actually get there, they didn't get there last time. They missed it by 3 ticks. The next time down might be when they spike it, and we could see lower lows, lower than last week's low. We could hit the 62, 63 area below us. That's very possible. So be cautious on the long side.
Alright, so we bounced off the 70.5 on the ES up to a high so far of 73.75, it looks like, from that area. Alright, and over here we missed a couple of trades. Beautiful one right there. That one did not put in a higher swing. Here on the soybeans we stopped out on that one. Alright, on the crude we didn't take anything. The Russell's back inside a weekly trading zone. Gold doesn't have a trade here, but it did back here, right in there. And it was covered up by the ES there for a few minutes. And the ES is still bouncing here. Now it's bounced 3 points. from that area now.
Now, it's possible if the buyers are serious, they could turn this thing around here. Embrace all the possibilities. That's one of them. And then try to avoid second guessing them. To wait for evidence that they've done it. Like, to me, just looking at this hourly candle, I'm in no way convinced. Our 4-tick range. Let me put my indicators on the 4-tick range. Just had a little bullish cross there. But we had no real pull away. So not yet. No signal to go long yet. Now it's starting to pull away. So now, okay, now if you get a pullback, here, the area that we should run into resistance overhead is going to be 2077, give or take. Call it 76 to 77. Is that the zone? That might even be a zone. The zone's 74 to 75. Okay. But on the 4-tick range, you can see that the bearish cross happened at 77. And then you've got those swing lows at 76. So that whole area 76, 77, for those two reasons, becomes good resistance. And well, what do you have? A nice little run up there. Now, if we pull back, question is, do you have room to get off a 2-point trade between the entry and the area I just talked about? And I think it would be pretty tight.
It's starting to pull back right now, but it's pulling back into a zone, so it's kind of tough.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. It's pulling back into, if it pulls, let's see, the BVCs is 74.34. So remember, we won't trade coming into a zone, but if it backs itself into this zone and finds support and starts to move north, that's a pretty good sign, because I didn't even have the zone on the chart. I need to change my hourly chart and get the proper zones up there. All right.
Okay, I'm just gonna make sure I got the right zones here on my Russell.
Russell is 1200, 1201, and the lowest one is 1183, 1184. And then above 1212, 1213 is 1224, 1225.
Okay. Oil inventories in 11 minutes. Yeah, let's set up a crude bracket if we can. Wow, we're going to have to go farther back. We're sitting right at the high of the day right here on crude. Crude has just been in a tear since April 22nd. Actually, even before then. I'm almost afraid to give a top side on the crude right here. I would give a sell of 61. Actually, not 61, 60. 60.25 but I'm not going to give anything on the top side because we're too close to the high of the day. Okay. So I'd sell 60.28 on the crude. Okay. Oh wow. What is up with that? Oh, that's an hourly chart. Maybe 60.28 is too, maybe 60.28 is too low. How about 61.50? That's what I'll do. 61.50. I'll sell that. And flip it back to a 4-tick range. Alright? So that's what I'm doing for the crude bracket. I'm just selling 61.50. I'm not buying because we're too close to the high of the day. On whatever this is, on gold, 89.8 is the high, 89.4 will be the low. 89.8 is the high, 89.4 will be the low. Okay, now 89.9 is the high, 89.5 will be the low. Now it's a different bar. 89.7 would be the low. Okay, on gold, down close at 89.7 would be a short trade. There it is. Down close at 89.7, short the gold. 8 ticks risk, yes. And on the euro, we really don't have anything we can do there on the euro right at the moment. What time is it? 23. This would be a momentum short trade here on the euro, but it just doesn't look right. I'd like to see a deeper pullback. All right, on the euro, we did get the deeper pullback, which is what I wanted. Okay, and on the gold, we're just sitting there waiting, dissipating. All right, the Russell just tanked. I don't know if the ES is going to follow, but the ES is right above its zone, right here. So we did get a 7-point bounce off of that area, Dwayne. 1352 over here on the euro, a down close at 1352 would be a short trade. And there it is. And I am short 1351 on the euro. All right, the gold, stop to break even. Remove the original stop. We're out of the gold with a couple. And we're still waiting on the euro. The ES is about to get below its zone. It didn't. It's still right inside it. So we can't trade the Russell here. That was my point. Alright, so we got that to that. Oh, we got to close below the MA1 over here. Right, I'm flat to euro right now. Sorry. Um, mm, okay, the oil inventories come out here in about 2 minutes. Okay. Robert, suddenly your cycle ninja is much different than mine, usually always the same. Yeah, that's... Robert, different on crude? Yeah, you're the second person to say that to me. I don't know what happened with the crude. Why your cycle is different than my cycle. I mean, if it's always the same, then it could be that my data was refreshed when I restarted DT Pro this morning. Marianne says hers is the same. So I don't know what to make of it, guys.
Still got that hourly ES chart hanging around? Or
Yep.
did you change it to something else?
Nope, I got it right here. Crude inventory is in 20 seconds, though.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
30 seconds.
We can look at the hourly chart later.
But, yeah, big bounce from 70.5 up to 77.5, a 7-point bounce so far on that. And 10 seconds to the inventories. Now, I just have a sell on for the inventories. Okay, I'm selling 61.5. And they're going up, not down. See, I didn't want to buy them because we were too close to the high of the day. That's why I didn't. Okay, and now we'll see if it gets down to where I am.
Marianne, I'm not sure what your question is. That
No, she was...
bounce? Okay.
I was at a bounce off the trade alert on the S&P. Okay, sorry. There's a separate question.
Looking to see. The trade alert was to be short below 79. And so, oh, what you're saying is, did we just get back above? Did we get above 79? No, we got right to 79. Yeah, we needed to go 79 and a quarter for it to reset and trigger. I see what you're saying.
Okay.
And it's still, and there's a very good possibility that it still may. We still got 29 minutes left in this hourly candle. We've got a nice long-legged doji already. So the final 10 minutes of this candle could be very important. It's the potential for the final 10 and the first 10. We've talked about that a lot during the after shows. Especially in an hour, we have a sluggish hour. Things are pretty quiet, not much going on, just kind of chopping sideways. And then all of a sudden, final 10 minutes, boom.
Here you go, Dwayne. I'm going to put the ES hourly up here in my ES 4-tick range, and I got to go do something really quick. I'll be right back. Okay?
All right. Yeah, Marianne, if you're trading the alerts, I mean, that's how the alerts work. When price goes back above the alert price, that resets the trade, and then when it comes down, that's a trigger. Exactly. Yeah, that's how the alerts work. Actually, now I think about it, the way I'll show you on the radio show today, the trigger line should have been moved down 1 tick, because in order to be short 2079, you've got to be 2078.75. And so price did go. It did exactly what we would need it to do, and so I'll show it to you. You're usually there on the radio show, right? I'll have the screens. I'll show you. Just the same as always. All right. So we had that low risk trade, bounced up out of that area. It came within 3 ticks of the low from last week. Now, where the previous hour closed, you see that's kind of a bit of a sticking point right there. Let me look at my 4-tick range for just a minute, because I can't see his clearly in the multicolored candles. Okay, we had a bullish cross, price pulled away, price pulled back. The issue I have with this long trade on the 4-tick range chart is that you're buying into a CFMA1 that's overhead and falling. Okay, and we know that can serve as good resistance, and that's exactly what's happened on the 4-tick range chart. Now, I'm looking at my chart, not his, but his is showing you the same thing. And I know you can't see my cursor pointing at it, but see that very steep red CFMA1 overhead and falling? I don't want to buy into that, okay? That's a personal thing. Okay, I know that Michael hasn't carved that in stone for you guys or written it as a rule, so do whatever it is that he's teaching you to do. But I'm just pointing out that's a heavy weight, and so if I know that's going to potentially be good resistance, why not wait for a situation where I can buy or sell with the flow? That's my take on it. See what happened? I mean, that just, there wasn't much hope for it from the start, and now here we go. Now, on the 4-tick range, that low that you see is also the low on the on the previous hourly candle. See how we're approaching the low of the previous hourly candle right now, right here. If you look left on the 4-tick range, there we go. So taking out the low of the last hour on this next push down, that's somewhat significant. Now, the problem with taking a short right here is if we were to pull back right now and it gave us a textbook short entry on the 4-tick range, we'd be selling right into a zone, 74.75. So we don't want to do that because the zone itself, 74.75, has the potential to be good support. So when you get into these battle zones like this, it's difficult, but better to be patient and to let them sort it out, let them fight it out, let them do whatever it is they got to do, and then okay, 74.75. Okay, where are we at? All right, I'm back. All right, catching a bounce or attempting a bounce here, or not a bounce, we're finding support at the 74.75 area for the third time on the 4-tick range. At the 10 o'clock hour, we fell through it a little bit, and that's when we made that low at 71. And so we put a leg up and a retrace, a leg up and a retrace. And this is on your 4-tick range. If you look at the S&P, you got a bullish cross, and that gave us a leg up. And then we had a pullback where you got a little tiny bearish cross. It didn't last. A couple candles. There was no trade entry there because there was never a pull away to the downside after the cross. Plus, we're sitting right at a zone. Made a move up, and where was the high? If you look left, there it is, 78.79, okay? And I had said earlier that 76.77 would probably be an area. So we've got this battle here going on, okay? There'll be a winner. Buyers or sellers, someone will at the end of the day be a clear-cut winner. But when you have this big a dynamic going on, sometimes it's more beneficial to find a market that's not correlated to the S&P, something that marches to the beat of its own drum, whether that's whatever it is that you choose, or you can by this afternoon, this battle will have been resolved. Okay. Now we've got 20 minutes left in the hour. We've still got a long-legged doji with virtually nobody at all on the hourly candle. So, okay, Mike, go ahead.
Okay. I just went long over here on the euro on the up close off the BBC with the blue cycle. All right. And I'm going to slide this off and this off for right now. Yeah, what Dwayne was saying about finding some, because we got this battle going on, it's likely to be choppy until there's a decisive winner. So the ES and the Russell, the indexes are probably going to be difficult right now. Okay. Okay, now my cycle is going to reform here, and you guys tell me if it's closer to what yours is, the two of you who had a problem. Alright, we're going to stop out right here, I think. The cycle is the same as yours now? Okay. Well, it's because we had different data, and because when I restarted DT Pro, I had a different amount of data. Okay. So I should probably do that for all my charts. Hopefully that'll come back here in a second. I am here. I'm just waiting. Alright, well, while we wait for that, let's just see what actually happened in the crude inventories today. Okay, alright, they're back. In the crude inventories today, came in at minus 3.9 million. They were expecting plus 1.3. So prices should go up on the crude. Okay. Now the Russell's pulling back down to the top of a weekly trading zone right here. If he gave an up close, it would be a long trade. 12.6 up there to 13 would be the long trade there on the Russell. It would be just a regular bounce off the BBC type long trade. Again, what we were saying is the indexes might not, because we have this battle going on, they might not act as well as they normally do. And I was just taking a break even on that. Okay.
Chris, I'm reading an email that you sent, Chris B. It says, I'll hear a nuance of what may be a rule, but I don't know if it's a rule or not. Like when price closes below the black step line, you don't put on a trade. If price crashes into the BBC before you enter the trade's negated. Okay, here's a long trade, okay? This is how simple it is. And if you'll go to the Google Plus page, I've gone over this. There's lots and lots of videos. You can watch it over and over and over. A bullish cross, price pulls away, price pulls back to physically touch the BBC. Then there's an up close. Then you buy the open of the next candle. That's it. On a short trade, there's a bearish cross. Price pulls away. Price pulls back to physically touch. then there's a down close, and you sell the open of the next candle. That's it. That's all you need to know. That right there is enough information for you to make on any given day. You should be able to step into the marketplace, and out of 10 trades, which is what you're allotted in the 2420 blueprint, find 10 ticks. We all want to take our 8 ticks or 10 ticks, depending upon the market we're trading in. We all want to take it out of, one trade. It just feels better. It feels right. It validates us somehow on some basic level that we're doing a good job. And most of us have good work ethics. That's how we were raised, and we want to do a good job. And if it takes us 10 trades to get 8 ticks, somehow that doesn't feel like we did a good job. It kind of seems like we failed in some way. But if you break it down and look at the numbers, not the feelings, not the emotions, that's a very profitable business model, okay? If it takes you 10 trades to gross 8 ticks in an 8-tick market like the S&P, or gross 10 ticks in a 10-tick market like crude or gold, you have a business with a profit margin that a Subway franchise owner would die for. Or, well, maybe give a limb. How about that? 10 opportunities. So don't worry about any of these other nuances. Don't let that confuse you. The only, with what I said, the only time that doesn't hold true beautifully, like I just said, is if, as you get your up close, you're waiting for your up close, and the step line crashes into the BBC, that negates the trade. Doesn't mean the trade might not still work out, but based on the rules, no, you let it go. Yeah, the high probability is no longer in your favor. Okay? I know you sent that through email, but I wanted you to hear it live in real time so that you can apply it today. Okay?
All right. And while Dwayne was talking, I took a Russell trade right there. A couple of ticks profit there. It's setting up another one right now. It's got a low of 15.4. It'll have a high of 15.8. So an up close there at 15.8 would be a long trade on the Russell. Over here on crude oil, we had a trade in there, but I missed it. 62.01 up to 62.05 on the crude. That's still right, yeah. 62.01 up to 62.05.
The S&P's recovering nice.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Okay, so now we got to look at the zone that's overhead. That's at 87, 88. Okay, and we're at 83.50 now. Okay, we pulled away from that 74.75. Did it ever give a good 4-tick range trade coming out? There was a momentum opportunity. I'm actually starting to spot those. There was a momentum trade on the S&P. But there was
just a regular slingshot trade too at 79.75.
79. I don't have a. Here, let me look at yours.
Right here.
Oh well. Yeah, for me that's a momentum trade. I mean, I thought you meant a pullback to the BBC trade.
No, a momentum trade is when you close on the other side of the MA1. Right? When you've already closed on the other side of the MA1, that's where your entry is. Like if we entered up here, that would be a momentum trade. But the entry was right here at 80.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, then when I'm talking, when you hear me talking, I'm talking about one that pulls back to the BBC. Okay. So pay attention to Michael because he's teaching in there every morning.
Okay, we got this trade going on the Russell. I just threw my stop at break even. I had an order on there. I'm just going to lock in 3 ticks on it. There's one over here on crude right now. I'm not Oh, I am in. I thought I was not in, but I am in. I'm gonna stop at break even on that one too. Okay, I'm locking 5 on the Russell and stop at break even on the crude. And the gold had a momentum short trade right in here. Actually, not there. Sorry. No trade there on the gold yet. We needed to start pulling back a little bit like it is. Alright, gonna lock in 3 on the crude. And what do I have here on the Russell? I have 5 locked in. And 3 on the crude. Okay, and the gold's pulling back a little bit. 4 on the crude. And I'm flat the Russell with 5. And I'm flat the crude with 4. Okay, and the gold is pulling back, so watch here on the gold that the crude is there to there, and the Russell is in here to up there. There's over there, I think. Alright, on the gold, there's blue on the cycle, so we got to close below the trend line. Okay. If anybody's asked any questions that have not been answered, can you just type them in again? Because everything's scrolling out of view. Okay. Over here on the crude oil, that's our trend line. Alright, on the crude, and up close of the current bar, 62.05 up to 62.09. Be a long trade there on the crude. Okay. And on the Russell, we would need to close above this trend line, however that happens. The crude did not happen. Now we gotta adjust this a little. And on the Russell, we got a low of 16.0. We'll have a high of 16.4 from 16.4 up to 16.8 on the Russell. $16.4 up to 16.8 on the Russell. Okay, and up close here at 16.8 would be a long trade. A down close over here on the gold would be a short trade. It's got 88.7 down to 88.3. Okay. There's the up close on the Russell. 16.8. I didn't even notice it already went 4 ticks. So as soon as I can, stop at break even. Okay. And we did not get the down close over here on the gold. Just going to lock in a couple there on the Russell, and I'll be flat with a couple on the Russell. Still a down close on this bar on the gold, 88.5 down to 88.1 would be a short trade. Okay, and back over here on the Russell. We got just a couple of ticks. And now this is really still a down close here on the gold. As long as the black step line is below the BBC, then we can look for that down close there on the gold. Right now it would be at 88.4. 88.5. $89.1 down to 88.7. That would still be a trade there at 88.7. The black step line is still below the BBC, so it's still a trade. Okay, if I were to extend this trend line, you would see that that is our first close below the trend line right there at 88.7. It's also a close below the MA1, so stop goes to break even as soon as you have profit in it. Okay. $10.56. What do we have? 4 minutes left in this candle. 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 10 seconds left in the hourly.
Yeah, and so you've got a pretty good sized green body on this hourly candle. If you look left, the swing low overnight was 2081.50. And that looks to be right about where we're going to close out this hour. If we close below 81.50, I would anticipate lower prices into the next hour. If we close above 81.50, I would look for us to continue to try to move higher. We have a zone overhead at 87.88, so that's calling. There's some magnetic attraction there. But it looks like we're going to close. We've got 3 minutes. Do you have that hourly chart up still?
Yeah, that's right here.
That's it. Okay. Right. See where we're at right now, and then look at that low from overnight. The tail of that low, that wick that comes way down. See that, guys, right there? See, we're right at that spot. So what was support, will that now become resistance? Well, you say, well, but we've already blown through it a bit. Yeah, we did, but it's how we close on the hour. You know, why is that so important, how we close on the hour? Quite frankly, I can't give you a scientific answer. I know that many people watch hourly charts. Many people base their decisions on, you know, what happens. Just like some people trade the beginning of the month, some people trade the beginning of the session, some people trade the beginning and end of the hour. But it's a dynamic that, rather than try to convince you there's some meat on the bone, I'll just tell you, and then you start watching hourly candles, and you'll see, you'll go, oh, boy, it sure looked to me like this was going to happen. But in the last few minutes, look at that. Is that crude?
Yeah, that's crude. Just dropped down to the level that I had said I would sell earlier. I don't have my sell order on there anymore. But when the crude inventory numbers came out a half an hour ago, that was the area I said I would sell. Took it an hour to get down there. Half an hour. Yeah, there was a momentum short trade right in here. I'm not in it right now. Wait and see what we get on a pullback. Okay, here comes the hourly close. It looks like it's closing above right there, Dwayne. Closed above the low, the overnight low.
Did it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was a tight race. Okay, and so now we've got a zone overhead at 87.88, and the high of the previous hourly candle is 84. And so a nice little trade would potentially be 85 to 87 if the opportunity presents. in the zone is 87 to 88, and so 85 to 87. I like that if the opportunity presents. You'll notice I'm going 4 ticks above the previous hourly candle in that projection. I'm going to go ahead and write that on my chart right now. 2085 to 2087 if the opportunity presents. Because we're heading into break in 30 minutes and then we come back for the radio show. It might have happened by that point.
All right. That up close right here on crude is a long trade from 61.49, 61.50, right in there. Okay. And I'm out. Break even. Okay. Now we'll see if crude gives anything, or it takes back any of that stuff that it gave up a few minutes ago. The Russell put in a lower swing. It's pulling back. We get a high of 15.5. We're going to have a low of 15.1. 15.5 down to 15.1 on the Russell. $15.9 down to 15.5. Alright, no trade there on the Russell.
Chris B., did that answer your questions from the email that you had sent? If you have any other questions at all, just type them right into the chat box, okay? If what I said, because I didn't have the chart at the time, if you remind me during either the radio show or the after show, I will bring up a chart and show you some examples of how the BBC can prevent a trade from coming together. And if Michael has an opportunity here, he'll be happy to show you as well.
I'll bounce off the BBC trade. Yeah, I'll go through that when I go through the
no,
trade
we're talking about when the step line crashes into the BBC.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it just disqualifies the trade altogether.
Here's an example of one right here. No, I would not go short here when the black step line hits the BBC right here. I wouldn't want to go short. Okay, and you see what happened when the black step line hit the BBC. The black step line is almost always going to hit the BBC before you get your bullish cross. It's like a little warning that the bullish cross is coming. Okay. That's what Dwayne was talking about, Chris.
You see that, Chris? That makes sense to you?
Right in here. You know, I would be looking for a short trade.
That's not something that changes, or sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I mean, that's a carbon
black step line has to be on the same side as the MA1. Okay. All right, guys. I didn't even realize it's 11:05. Yeah, we had some work to do. We still have some work to do. We got our goal in our first trade in 2 minutes. But right now we're +7 on the Russell, we're -1 on Euro, -8 on soybeans, +2 on gold, and +4 on crude oil. That's where we stand. So we got a little bit of work to do to make up for all these commissions. And that's what, 112. That's You know, we're positive, but just barely. Okay, on the euro. Just had a big move down here on the euro. Oops. And I'm trying to draw my trend line, but I can't.
First 2 minutes of the day, David.
Yeah, well, actually, I had to restart DT Pro this morning, so it was on the 8th minute, but it took me 6 minutes to restart DT Pro. It was my first trade on the Russell this morning.
Were you here this morning, David?
All right. 1349 down to 1345 would be a momentum short trade over there on the euro. We don't have anything here on the Russell because it didn't put in a lower swing. It's not trending. Gold is not trending. Crude oil is not trending. Soybeans are. There was a momentum trade going right into dynamic support here, which I wouldn't do. We'll see what the euro is going to do over here for us. Okay. Yeah, the 60's got a partner trade long here. But for the trend trades, 53 down to 49 is what you'd be looking for there on that euro. Okay. I down close at 49 right there. Ding, ding, ding. That's what you're looking for on the euro. Now we want to see 4 ticks profit or a close below the MA1 to move the stop to break even. What we anticipate whenever we have the green line moved away from the cycle like this is that it's going to move all the way back down into it. And when it does, it should continue the trend. So it should get down below 1344. Okay, should get below there.
David M., did you pick a day yet? The last email after I got your information, my email back to you was let's shoot for a day this week, what day works best for you. So I haven't heard back from you since then. So let me know. We got 2 days left. I might be able to squeeze it in today right after the radio show. Are you on East Coast, Central? What time zone are you in? Eastern? I finish up the show at 2. Are you coming to the radio show today? Okay. Maybe we can roll out of the radio show and roll right into that session. Okay. In fact, I'll give you an option. We can try to do that, which I think I can make work, or we do the partners meeting tonight. You can ask some questions then, and then we can roll out of the radio show tomorrow into the session. So whichever you think will be more beneficial for you, to have that one-on-one time and then the partners meeting, or have the partners meeting and then the one-on-one time. So you let me know. Max R., are you here?
All right. The Russell is in its weekly trading zone. The ES is now below the the swing low during the overnight session.
Yep. Yeah, that finish was so close there in that area, and we know so far we've got a trend down day. We've got, if we go back to, gosh, 9 a.m. on May 4th, that's when we put in the high for the week. So it was Monday. So Monday, the 9 a.m. candle, we put in the high, and we've had one huge leg down, a retracement, and today's a continuation of that down move.
Okay, on the euro, we need to go one more tick down. Get our stop to break even. There it is. Stop to break even. I'm going to just lock in one tick here on the euro. Get rid of my original stop. Okay, now we should get below 44 is what I was saying. I'm going to lock in 4 ticks right here because we're at our prior swing low. We could bounce off of. Yeah. Alright, that was 4 more on the euro. That one took forever. The soybeans are putting together a short here too. 85.75 down to 84.75. So a down close here at 84.75 would be a short trade on the soybeans. Crude oil's putting together a long trade right here. That's our trend line. We want to have an up close above the trend line. Okay, 61 up to 65 on the crude. And up close at 65 on crude would be a long trade. There it is right there. Want to see 4 ticks profit or a close above the MA1. Okay, there's 2 ticks profit. 2 ticks. Now we expect the green line to turn up and get all the way up into the cycle here. Okay. And we have a short on soybeans. So 4 ticks profit or close above the MA1 on the crude. And there's 4 ticks on the crude. And the same thing on the soybeans. And we're flat at the crude. Russell is now below its weekly trading zone. It's probably going to come back up and test the zone. It's usually what it does the first time it drops out. But the ES is making a dive down for that same area that we hit before. So how big of a recovery was that? It was from 70.5 up to 84. 13.5.
Okay, so in this hour, that trade that we talked about, 85 to 87, if that doesn't come together in this hour, no problem. That remains valid until it happens. If it's an hour from now, a week from now, or a day from now, that's going to be a valid trade, 85, 87. There's nothing that will happen in the future that's going to change what happened in the past. So keep an eye on that area, but now we need to concentrate on the downside because the market is pulling into the zone at 74.75. The first big hourly red candle today bounced out of the 74.75 zone. Okay, 2074/75 weekly trading zone. That's where the first bounce came from. Then the second hourly candle spiked it, but closed well above it. And now we're in this third hourly candle, which is trying to work its way back down to test 74.75 as support. If it holds, we should then have a pretty good opportunity on the long side back up to the 2081 area. Okay? And on the radio show, I'll show you why, actually, I'll show you why 2080 becomes a potential stopping point. 80 to 81. So once price touches the zone, hits the zone, consolidates, whatever it's going to do there. Now see, at the end of this 3-hour period, well, I'll show you on the radio rather than just try to talk about it now. I'll let Michael go ahead and finish up with what he's got to do, and then I'll try to show you guys during the radio show exactly what I'm referring to here and how this can help you with your smaller time frame setup.
Okay, we just stopped out of the beans again. Soybeans, our nemesis today. I gotta get a little more here. We're gonna have a red day. Well, it wouldn't be a red day, it'd be a blue day because I did get my goal for the day. But on the ES right here, guys, the down close of the current bar is 77.75 is the high, 76.75 would be the low. If you get a down close there, that would be a short trade. On the ES, it's going down into a weekly trading zone. Yeah, it's going down into a zone, so you probably don't want to do that. But it would get down to the zone. All right, down at 75. On the Russell, well, we're not going to do the Russell because the ES is going into a zone. We didn't have any divergence here on the crude when we got the down close, so I'm not going to go for anything there. It could be a blue day. A blue day. It means I got my goal for the day and then I gave it all back. We haven't had anything but green for, well, March 27th was the last blue day. And we're down about 4 ticks right now. That's 100, that's 200. Yeah, we're down 4 ticks right now. Well,
That's why the blueprint teaches you once you get your goal for the day, whatever that is. And everyone knows that the recommended amount is $100. $100, 10 trades or less. Whether you're trading in an 8-tick market or a 10-tick market, it can be a combination of the two. Take 4 ticks out of the S&P and 5 ticks out of the Russell. That's the same $100. 10 trades or less. Never risk more than 8 ticks. Always move your stop to break even when you have 4 ticks profit. And practice aggressive risk management on top of that. David is shocked.
what? You shocked? Well, I had 2 losing trades on soybeans. I had a losing trade on the euro. I had a losing trade on crude. I'm sorry, a losing trade on the Russell. And just a winning trade on gold and a winning trade on crude. That's it. I am red though. I said it would be a blue day because I got my goal for the day. But I am down a little bit right now. It's actually not a full 4 ticks. It's about 3.5.
During the recap, he'll go over every single trade that he took.
I will. Indeed.
Same thing every day. Day after day, week after week, year after year.
Yep, we can say that. Year after year. Same thing. I hadn't realized how significant this little symbol here would be in 2013 when I made this picture. We're doing the same thing now that we were doing in 2013. 61.29 is the high here on crude. 61.25 would be the low. So down close at 61.25 would be a short trade on crude.
Hey, Joe. How you doing? I wrote that little thing the other night. I was thinking about you. When you doing better? Good. Good. Those little meetings have a way of doing that. When I wrote that thing about catfish or jumping, it was a night when we had a couple of tweets popping. I was thinking about you.
89.1 up to 89.5 on the gold.
It's over on the Google Plus page. Which, by the way,
down to 33 on the crude.
No, go ahead. I'll show them after the break.
Okay. I'm just trying to get positive here before the end of the
Congratulations,
show.
John. Started out the day with 4 stomp outs, but just got my goal for the day. Thank you, Dwayne and Michael. Now that's a testimony there, John. See, that's a very thing that people struggle with. I would love to have you come on the radio. Why don't you do a trader story? Why don't you become one of the people that you can come on? I would love to have you come on the radio today and just talk, but I also would like to do an interview with you. Oh, I was supposed to redo the interview with or with John. I want to redo that. So, what do you think, John? You want to come on today and talk about it? What it's like to get stopped out 4 times and still make your goal for the day? You game? You up for it? All you need is a computer headset or telephone. That's all you need. Make you a rock star today. Well, not a rock star, but
today.
Trading star.
All right, I have 2
People
trades
be
that are
asking for
about
you.
to
Now,
trigger.
the paparazzi can be hanging outside your house. I can't do anything about that. I mean, once you set this thing in motion, it's pretty freaky.
3 trades about to trigger.
Chris wants to know, Joe, did you use only 10 trades after 4 stop outs? Don't get shy on me, John. I freaked him out with that whole come on the radio business. Running for the hills. He might have a few rollover trades in his desk drawer. I don't know. But we'll wait for his answer.
All right. Euro stopped to break even. The down close right over there on the euro was a short trade. The cycle's going up kind of steep there on the crude. That's my problem with that one. I'm still looking at the gold, but we're running out of time. I did lose about 6 minutes this morning, though.
It's 2 hours out of a 7.5-hour day, but the markets trade 23 hours. So, Kent, I will be driving then. Oh, that's a bummer. He used 22 trades. Guess you had a few rollovers tucked away?
flat the euro.
Oh, you still do? Oh, so you use those and you still got a few? Okay, all right. So I understand you'll be driving today, and maybe someday they'll invent one of those little, no, I'm just teasing. But think about doing being a trader story, okay, for the trader stories page. You don't have to be killing it. You don't have to be getting killed. You can just be, hey, I'm Joe from Idaho and I trade. Okay. So think about it and let me know. Okay. David,
Right.
how did that possibly happen? You are talking simulator, right? Oh, okay. All right. So thing is you're not going to go live with 3, so I would not simulate with 3. You're going to go live with 1, and so it's best to train for what you're actually going to be doing. I realize it's just a number. You can make it 1, you can make it 3, you can make it 10, but psychologically it does make a difference. So I would encourage you to do that. Okay. And I would like to, whether we're going to do our meeting today or tomorrow, I'd like to have a screenshot of those. Okay, so I can see what market you're trading, what type of trade you're taking, where your entries are. We can do that today and tonight, or we can do it tonight and tomorrow, whichever one you want to do. Michael on oil, since the step hit the BBS, we stopped within MA1. Did not actually recross, so you can read it.
Oh, right in here is where you would have been going short on that. Right here, the black step line had not crossed up. Now it's put in a lower swing. Okay, so we'd be looking for it to pull back and give us another opportunity. The Russell just went long out of the weekly trading zone. If it pulls back, it'll give us an opportunity. I'm still looking for the gold to close up right here. When the European markets close in about a minute and a half, I think we might see some movement here on the gold. Okay, I lost 6 minutes this morning, so I'm gonna go a little longer than I normally do. Normally I'd be doing my spreadsheet right now, but I need to make 4 ticks. Oops. And there's the gold long. Okay, now 4 ticks profit or close above the MA1. We'll move our stop to break even. Over here on the crude right now, guys, if it gave a short trade, it would be, well, it depends how it comes together. It's got a high of 16 and a low of 12. If it closed down there at 12 on the crude, that would be a valid short trade. Okay? If that were to happen, but it didn't. So now we got to move this over like that. Let's get a high of 17. We'll have a low of 13. So a down close at 13 would be a valid short trade. Okay? The Russell pulled back down to test the weekly trading zone. Of course, we expect that. There's 4 ticks on the gold. Stop to break even. I could just take 4 ticks profit here on the gold. There. All right, I took 4 ticks profit on the gold, and I'm in the crude as well. I'm in the crude from 12, so I'm going to lock in 6 ticks on that.
Well, you just can't take 6 ticks because the market makes it available.
I can too.
Oh.
As long as I'm in the trade, I can.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Wow. That's
just like before. Like before, I took over here on the gold. I took it because it was there. All right. That's going to wrap it up for me then. 4 more on gold and 6 on crude. And that gets us somewhere positive. There's also a long right here, a momentum long trade on the Russell at 13.7. Okay, I'm not going to do that one. I'm just pointing it out to you. All right, so let me do my spreadsheet. Do the spreadsheet. Today is the 6th day of May, Today in soybeans we got killed. We got hammered. 2 losing trades, minus 16 ticks. In the Russell, we are up 7 ticks. Natural gas, we didn't trade. Crude oil, we're up 10 ticks now. Gold, we're up 6 ticks. Oops, and the euro. Oops, euro. We are up 3 ticks. Okay, so I don't remember where we started the day. This is minus 200. That makes it minus 1.
We just lost your audio. Are you there? We lost your audio completely. It sounded like you're in the shower.
Me?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I just got your text message.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still here.
One of those things, it happens sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still here. I've been talking the whole time. All right. So we ended up positive on the day, just $67, but we took 23 trades with an $8 commission times 23. Obviously, that's going to be way more than $60. But we ended positive on the day. That's what the green means. All right. We got our goal and we ended positive. All right. So we lost 16 ticks on beans. We made 7 ticks on the Russell, 10 ticks on crude, 6 ticks on gold, 3 ticks on the euro. Took us 2 minutes and 1 trade to get to our goal for the day. At that point, we're up $100 a contract, and we took a total of 23 trades today. So this becomes a 4, and this becomes an 84. All right, so on the month, on the 4 days traded so far this month, we're up $612.50 a contract. On the year, we're up $20,335 a contract. All right, net profit with an $8 commission, you get killed. $20.50 so far because we had so many trades today. Net profit with a $5 commission, $242.50. Okay. All right. I am going to save this. I am going to save this. And I will go here. To get into the next session, guys, the next session starts at the top of the hour in 27 minutes. You just can go to cfrn.net, scroll down on the right-hand side to where it says click here and click there. Then scroll down to where it says watch live now and click there. And fill out this little form. When you fill out this little form, you'll be sent a link to get into the next session. Prior to the next session, every business day for the rest of the month of May. Okay? If anybody has any questions, you can call me at 1-949-423-6464. 949-423-6464. James, who called yesterday. I tried to call you back. I'll try to call you again today. And the other fellow who just called, I'll give you a call back too. All right, so that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap it up right here. If anybody's got any questions, you have my phone number. You can email us at